got the feathers on the back, so you gotta get this. Let you know that she's on my back. And I got a phone call, and someone was like, you know, Aaliyah passed in a plane crash. And that's just not like the normal way you hear of somebody passing. So actually I got very angry with the...
Unfortunately, we weren't talking when she passed. She wasn't talking to Timbaland, or I think her and Missy fell out as well. But we still had love.
According to this Genuine interview, there was a huge falling out between him, Missy, and Timbaland with Aaliyah and when she died, and that none of them were on speaking terms with her. Timbaland had also echoed the same sentiments, claiming that by the time Aaliyah lost her life, him, Missy, and Aaliyah had had a fallout, and unfortunately they had not cleared the air before she left.
What bothers me the most about the Aaliyah with the death, we just got in an argument, and I never really got to say I'm sorry. But when I was about to say, you know, why are we even tripping?
She treated us like, you know, she had been knowing us for years, like we were family. Feel like people are gonna be around for a long time, so you think of all the things that you wish you could have said before they left. But I went through a period of shock for a long time.
It's not a secret how much the trio loved each other and loved making music together, so what happened? Why did the three stop making music together, and why has Missy Elliott been silent about Aaliyah's death all this years? Let's get into it. Missy Elliott, Timbaland, and R&B artist, Aaliyah had once been a formidable trio who produced chart-topping music, and Timbaland once revealed that a rejected demo track led to the formation of their hit-making relationship. The two producers were frequent collaborators of the More Than a Woman singer throughout her career before her tragic death in 2001. Consisting of Missy Elliott, Timbaland, and Aaliyah, the trio was responsible for her hit second album, One in a Million, which included singles If Your Girl Only Knew, 4-Page Letter, and titular track One in a Million, and reached double platinum status, selling more than 8 million copies worldwide. During a chat with rapper Rick Ross, Timbaland opened up about how the now iconic business relationship began, all because the singer followed her gut instinct and listened to the talent behind a demo track created by him and Missy that she decided to pass over. We sent her a song called Sugar and Spice. This how dope Aaliyah was, she said, I don't like the song Sugar and Spice, but I want to work with the producer and the writer who wrote that record. The Verzu's co-creator told Ross. And she flew us up the next day. She didn't like the record, but she knew it was something special in me and Missy, so that's why she is an angel. He continued, she felt it in her spirit. At that age, she was 17, just to be able to call that out at that time. I don't like that song, but whoever wrote that song, I want to meet them and work with them. That's smart. That flight and subsequent meeting launched Timbaland and Missy to star status, and the Pony producer also told Ross that he and Missy are eternally thankful to their angel, Aaliyah, for being their entry into the game. She was a vessel, he said. She was our angel that put our work out. When Missy and Aaliyah first met, the R&B singer was doing her second album and looking for a new sound, and since Missy and Timbaland were trying to get started, and they brought some tracks to her, and she loved them. Despite Aaliyah being a platinum artist, she never treated them differently, and she was actually sweet to them. Miss Elliott even said, we thought she'd be some sort of uppity mega superstar, but when we met her, she treated us as if we were Timbaland and Missy today, as though we had a name. She made us feel like family, very warm. After that, the two were like sisters, and they would hand out and go shopping together. Missy even claimed that Aaliyah would go over to her house and they would hang out together in her studio. Their relationship went beyond the work they did together, and it was more of a family vibe than just work. They could tell each other anything. Due to this, Aaliyah's death was a huge shock to Missy, and it took her a couple of months to come to terms with it. On August 25, 2001, news broke that Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash in the Bahamas. Missy was devastated, a friend of Elliott's told Behind the Music. It was literally like losing a family member for her. It must have been more hurting to her, considering the allegations that the two had had a fallout and they had yet to forgive each other before Aaliyah passed. Some alleged that the fallout had been due to differences in their music direction, while others claimed the industry had pitted the two producers against the R&B star. Despite the rumors, Elliott has always strived to keep the memory of her close friend alive. And in 2017, she took to Twitter to post a video of herself writing a letter for the Try Again crooner. Aaliyah, we miss you so much, but your legacy will live on forever and ever. Missy Elliott, whose real name is Melissa Arnett. Elliott has been in the music industry for over 20 years. The The musical legend made us get our freak on, lose control, and even throw it back all over again with her addictive jams. Well respected by her industry peers, the so-called misdemeanor inspired countless others. Kendrick Lamar mused to Billboard in 2018 saying, "We'd be watching Missy Elliott videos back in high school. They were always big inspirations." Lizzo has also gushed about her idol numerous times, getting particularly candid in an interview with Teen Vogue, revealing, "Missy Elliott is like my ultimate icon. I love her so much." With 4 Grammy wins and 22 nominations, it's hard not to agree with these two. In 2019, Elliott received the highest honor of her career. She was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Per Billboard, she was the first female rapper to be given the award. And as the crowd erupted in applause, it was clear she deserved it too. She is also a formidable businesswoman who retains full creative control over her music, videos, and productions. A longtime collaborator with her childhood friend from Virginia, the producer Tim Timbaland Mosley. She has also worked with Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Katy Perry, Madonna, Janet Jackson, and many more. Elliott is a positive role model who projects strength, confidence, and female empowerment and has never sacrificed her sense of fun or her capacity to entertain. However, life hasn't always been easy for the rapper. In fact, it started off as shocking. "I'm blessed to be living this dream of writing and singing, but that's not the real dream I had," Elliott told The Guardian in 2001, adding that she initially wanted to make enough money to take care of her mother. Throughout all her hardships, the Work It musician has come out on top. Here is the tragic real-life story of Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott's hardships began when she was still just a young girl, growing up with her abusive father, Ronnie. Ronnie was violent and beat her mother, Patricia, in front of their daughter without realizing how this treatment was going to affect her. Elliott begged her mom to escape from him and take her, and this finally happened when Elliott was 14, though life continued to be a struggle financially. Elliott grew up in the Baptist faith and has said that her religious beliefs will always be a large part of her life. She explained in 2003 that her faith helped her cope with her childhood abuse and subsequent depression. "You have to find some kind of peace," she said. "I believe in a higher being, and that gives me faith to be strong and go on." Before Missy Elliott and her mom were able to escape their grim living situation away from Patricia's husband, the future rap star would sit at home with her mother, in fear that something terrible would happen if she left the house. "I never wanted to go stay at my friends' houses," Elliott told Essence in 2000. "I always thought my father would beat my mother up or kill her." The Work It rapper's time at school wasn't much better either. As it turned out, Elliott had an extremely high IQ, ruining her chances of connecting with her peers. As Patricia told Rolling Stone, when she was in elementary school, they took tests. Her IQ was so high, it was like a genius IQ. Then they skipped her 2 grades from the 2nd to the 4th. Unfortunately for Missy, once she jumped grades, her studies suffered, as she felt out of place with the older children, per Missy Elliott. The only way for the future musical icon to get by mentally at least was to send letters to her own idols. As Elliott detailed to The Guardian years later, she begged Michael and Janet Jackson to rescue her. "I would check my mailbox every day, come rain, sleet, or snow. They never wrote back. I cried every night about that. Now I'm friends with Janet. I write songs for her." While she was still at school, she formed a girl group, Sista, and after auditioning for the producer Devontae Swing, they were signed to his label Swing Mob Records. And Elliott, who by now had finished her education, moved to New York. But her big break turned out to be a false start, as the label folded before Sista's debut album, Chwa Wata Iitini, most of which Elliott had written herself, was ever released. Missy Elliott headed to New York with Timbaland in the mid-90s with high hopes of becoming a star. According to The Guardian, she was quickly shot down, with the music industry telling her she was too tubby for a singer. "They'd broken my heart," Elliott recalled to the outlet. "They said I could sing, I could write, but that I looked wrong." Echoing a similar, albeit harsh, sentiment to the New York Daily News, she explained, "At the time, it was all about females who were half-clothed. I would look like a mess if I did that." Nevertheless, the Rain artist instead jumped to another one of her money-making talents, songwriting. As The Guardian revealed, Elliott and Timbaland began selling songs to various artists, finally making names for themselves until they hit the jackpot. They landed a hit with Aaliyah's If Your Girl Only Knew. It was also during this time that she wrote her first hit, That's What Little Girls Are Made Of, for Raven Simone in 1993, and made her first appearance as a featured vocalist in 1996 with a guest verse on Sean Puffy Combs' remix of The Things You Do. a song Elliott had co-written for Gina Thompson. This brought her to the attention of Sylvia Rohn, the CEO of Elektra Entertainment Group, who gave her the chance to form her own label, Goldmind. It was on Goldmind, which Elektra distributed, that Elliott released her debut album Supa Dupa Fly in 1997. The album went platinum and earned her the accolade of Rap Artist of the Year from Rolling Stone. She continued her prolific work rate, co-writing and co-producing 2 songs for Whitney Houston's 1998 album My Love Is Your Love, and appearing on the Spice Girl Mel B's solo single I Want You Back, which went to #1 in the UK. Elliott was hailed by The New Yorker as the biggest and blackest female rap star that Middle America has ever seen, who had avoided the prevailing stereotypes of the music video industry, meaning she did not pander to the male gaze as many female artists did or felt compelled to do. During the height of the MTV era, Elliott projected confidence through her personal style instead, donning an inflatable bodysuit and outsized shades in the video for The Rain and a red and white spacesuit for Sock It To Me. Elliott's next 2 albums, Da Real World in 1999 and Miss E, So Addictive in 2001, also went platinum. In 2002, her 4th album, Under Construction, which featured collaborations with TLC, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z, broke sales records for a female-led rap album, exceeding 2.1 million copies in the United States. The next year, she remixed Madonna's single American Life, and they performed together with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera at the MTV Video Music Awards. Elliott also found time to put out a 5th album, This Is Not a Test, which yielded the hit singles Pass That Dutch and I'm Really Hot. In 2002, Elliott won her first Grammy Award for her groundbreaking single Get Her Freak On. Its stuttering, tabla-laden beat was created by Timbaland after he heard Bhangra music while traveling. Her message has always been that women are equal to men, as important as men and as powerful, noted the fashion magazine Dazed retrospectively in 2016. Along with her Grammys, Elliott has received American Music Awards, multiple BET Awards for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist, and several MTV Video Awards for her iconic music videos. The Cookbook, released in 2005, helped spark the EDM boom by sampling Cybotron's early techno classic Clear on the single Lose Control. While Missy Elliott's star only seemed to be rising after dropping that album, she suddenly disappeared. So what happened? In 2011, Missy revealed to the public that she was suffering from Graves' disease, an incurable autoimmune disorder. Speaking to People, Elliott explained her disappearance. As the outlet wrote, the Virginia-born artist was first diagnosed with the disease in 2008 when she began experiencing dramatic weight loss and was diagnosed with Graves' disease, a rare autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid gland. Symptoms can include muscular weakness, hair loss, insomnia, and involuntary tremors. She learned to manage the condition partly through diet and exercise, and partly with medication. Ultimately undergoing radiation and medication, it's no wonder Elliott was both physically and mentally drained. As Misdemeanor told The Guardian, the way she was diagnosed came after a terrifying brush with fate while she was driving. I was trying to put my foot on the brake, but my leg was jumping. I couldn't keep the brake down and almost crashed. As a result, Elliott withdrew from the spotlight for many years, though she continued to write and produce for other artists, including Jennifer Hudson, Monica, Keisha Cole, and Shariah J., one of her proteges on Goldmind. She made guest appearances too, notably on the remix of Katy Perry's Last Friday Night, TGIF, which went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 2011. There were also appearances on records by Little Mix and Eve, while her collaboration with Kelly Rowland and Fantasia on the song Without Me received a Grammy nomination in 2013. As the years went on, Elliott spoke out even more about her battle. At Essence Magazine's 9th annual Black Women in Music event in 2018, as written by Good Morning America, Missy took the stage and declared, "I was sick and I couldn't even lift a pen. My nervous system had broken all the way down. I didn't come up in here in a wheelchair. Nobody helped me get up here. I'm walking." After appearing with Perry during the 2015 Super Bowl halftime show, Elliott returned to the front line in November with the Pharrell-produced single WTF Where They From, a riotous, tongue-twisty club banger that ranks among her finest work. It won widespread praise from the critics and was certified gold in the US. A few months later, she made a joyful appearance with Michelle Obama on James Corden's Carpool Karaoke. Elliott said afterwards she felt she was daydreaming when the First Lady began rapping her lyrics. A third comeback single, I'm Better, featuring a debut rap from her regular co-producer Lamb, has been well received. In an interview with Billboard in 2015, Aaliyah admitted that when it comes to music, her trusted circle of collaborators is quite small, and that she still suffers from shyness. Even Timbaland has never seen her record in the studio. I never record in front of anybody, she said. It's just me and my little Yorkies, Poncho and Hoodie. Despite being shy, Missy Elliott always knew she wanted to be a hip-hop artist. I used to write song lyrics all over the walls of my room, she recalled to Entertainment Weekly. My mother was like, you ain't going nowhere this weekend if I see another song on that wall. Elliott kept pushing towards her goal, even when her family told her to give up. Trust me, I was broke, she matter-of-factly admitted to Marie Claire, and my family would be like, you better find something to do. They told me to go to the army. I'm like, I'm too fat to go in the army. Where I am running to, Aaliyah added, everything just seemed so impossible at the time because we didn't have the technology to be able to reach out and put your stuff online, and people get a chance to see it, so you have to be at the right place at the right time. If facing hardships due to her weight wasn't enough, Missy Elliott also had to fight her way in a male-dominated rap industry. The hardest thing about being a female rapper is proving yourself, the Pass That Dutch artist told Ebony. She elaborated on the concept of gender dynamics in a 2011 interview with the Los Angeles Times, saying, it's funny because for females in general, not just in music but the corporate ladder as well, anything we do has always been harder for us. When it comes to music, the industry wants you to conform, to look like this, and to sound like this, and do this or that. With this determination, Elliott continues to inspire a new batch of artists. Missy always looked cool in her videos. Tyler, the creator, told GQ of the icon, just the swag that she had in her videos. She made a plastic bag look awesome. I always thought that was really cool. A 2017 Elle profile of the music-making legend detailed how Elliott has written more than 500 songs, produced music for Ciara, Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston, and taken just 3 vacations in her entire lifetime. The numbers are staggering, and her lasting legacy was finally honored in 2019 when the Throw It Back artist took home the Video Vanguard Award at the 2019 MTV VMAs. As MTV Intel co-brand head Bruce Gilmer told Variety of the award, Missy's impact on the music landscape is indelible. Her creative vision across production, performance, and songwriting is unmatched. After retreating from the spotlight she so rightfully dominated in the early 2000s, Missy Elliott suddenly made a triumphant return in 2015, taking the stage with Katy Perry during the Super Bowl halftime show. Of course, the comeback felt daunting, especially considering the Virginia native hadn't released any new music since 2005's The Cookbook. I've performed for some of the biggest crowds, but the Super Bowl has to be the scariest moment. Elliott dished to ID. It was a time where I felt like, do I still have it? Especially when you see a whole new slew, a whole new generation of kids. It turned out she did still have it, even with a younger generation who had no idea who she was. For a younger generation, her old hits were indeed new. As Elle detailed in its 2017 profile of Elliott, 24 hours after the Super Bowl, Get Her Freak On, Work It, and Lose Control would be downloaded about 20,000 times each, taking turns hitting the #1 spot for downloads on iTunes. Just like that, Misdemeanor was back. As she told MTV News in 2019, I went through things in my life to get here, and I'm just trying to help people see like, keep going, there's going to be some turns, some stops, rocky roads, but just keep going. If I had a stop, then I wouldn't be sitting here. What do you think of Miss Elliott and her legacy in Hollywood? What about her relationship with Aaliyah? Tell us in the comments section. That's it for this video. Bye.